All right. I'm ready to do it. Are you ready to do it?
Let's do it.
Bands you've heard of.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Bands You've Never Heard of. I'm JR,
And I'm Gary.
and we are here to expose you to a band you have not only never heard of, but you're going to wish you had, and you're going to be glad you do now. I'm going to promise it. I'm going to guarantee it. Nobody listening to this show is going to react badly to this band. Everybody is going to love them. I promise it.
And he uses me, Gary, as the acid test as to whether or not you're going to like this band. And I have to admit that he is batting 100 or 1,000 right now. Not 100. Probably not good or bad average.
10%.
That's like a pitcher. That's like a pitcher's batting average. No, he's batting at a solid 1,000 right now. And not all of them are home runs per se, but definitely lots of maybe an inside the park home run or two, and one well over the fence, and a whole bunch of doubles.
This one is a Grand Slam home run. I'm putting it out there right now. This is Babe Ruth pointing over the
set
fence.
the bar high.
That's right. That's how confident I am.
Oh my!
I have been wanting to put this band on the show for about 2 months now, longer than have had to wait for any other band. I found them when we were doing Banana Gun, when we were introducing the world to the band Banana Gun. This was a People Also Listen To band from
Banana Gun.
That's
Okay.
right. And I added them to. I don't know if you know this, Gary, but I have 2 playlists that I associate with this show. There's the official one, the Bands You've Never Heard of, the complete playlist, featuring every song from every artist ever featured on this show. That's public. I want people to go find it, sign up for it, subscribe to it, whatever you do with playlists on Spotify, so that when new songs are added, you have them, and you have an amazing playlist of songs. But I have a second playlist that is only for me.
The director's cut.
I call it Bino Possibilities.
Oh,
It's as soon as I find a band that technically qualifies, I add them to that list and I put them in my regular rotation. So I'm driving around, I'm listening to their songs, and this particular band has been on Bino Possibilities for 2 months. And I find it hard to listen to any other band on that playlist. They've got like 3 or 4 albums worth of songs. They've been around for about 10 years. And I am so happy to have their music in my life. And I cannot wait to share it with you. The reason it took so long to get them on the show is because they are a 100% do-it-yourself band. They do all their own stuff. I know this because I heard them on another podcast, and where they talked about doing their own videos, doing their own social media, doing their own everything. They're not signed by a label. They do not have management. And apparently they haven't decided who is supposed to respond to emails on their website, because nobody does that. Apparently nobody responds to comments on their YouTube videos. And so here's how I finally got them to respond to me. I went to their website the other night and I went through the merch section and I was going to buy a shirt, and I was hoping that there was a place where I could like enter a message or something, right? Like sometimes when you order, you can type in a note.
Yeah. Like we have that on our site.
So not only was I not able to do that, I couldn't even order a shirt. It wouldn't ship it to my address in Virginia. And I was getting very frustrated, and I was trying to figure that out. And I stumbled onto a page that had a phone number on it.
A phone number?
It was midnight East Coast time. I know they're out of Sacramento, California. So I figured it's probably only 9 o'clock. I'll see what happens. I called the number. Straight to voicemail. I left a message.
Like any good number should be.
A long-winded message. Yeah, I mean, they did the right thing. You did not answer an unknown number calling you, although your phone
at 9 o'clock at night.
Right? But I left them a message, and they texted me back within the hour Very pleased to have heard my message. We've been emailing back and forth ever since. They're very excited about being on our show. We've got the interview lined up, and so I can now reveal my favorite band that I've been living with that I want to show you guys. I want to show you, Gary. I want to show the rest of the world, and I hope everybody loves them as much as I do. I hope they get huge because they were featured on bands you've never heard of.
Well, I'm ready.
You're ready?
Yeah.
All right.
This tease is just killing me.
I know. I'm setting a high expectation here, and I mean every word of it, and I'm not afraid to have done that. We're going to go straight to their Spotify. They're called Bad Mother Nature. And this is them.
Bad Mother Nature.
Bad Mother Nature. BMN. And as you can see, none of their songs exceed 100,000 plays. Now You're Gone at 68,000 is their most played song.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, nothing gets over 100,000 yet. And these guys have been around for a little while. Here's what we know. Here's what you need to know from their bio. Bad Mother Nature is a 4-piece rock band from Sacramento, California, fronted by singers Ryan Allred and Axel Ahrens. The band has a unique and diverse sound, often ranging from folk rock and Americana to indie and hard rock. Ahrens and instrumentalist Corey Allred cycle between bass and guitar, while John McCann's signature drum style provides the group with their consistent character. Since their formation in the summer of 2016, the band has been steadily grinding away in the West Coast clubs, dive bars, and festivals, refining their energetic live performance by balancing their driving guitar riffs and nuanced progressive piano. With several regional tours to their name and 3 albums under their belt, the group has begun to make a name for themselves. The band's latest EP, 1,000 Days of Desert Rain and Madness, released in April 2023, pushes their signature harmonies and instrumentation further than ever before.
That's pretty good.
It's a good bio, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's got personality, it's got facts, but it's not boring. It's not too long, it's not too short.
Yeah, it was informational, and it had just the right amount of pizzazz. As we've seen, some can get a little over hyperbolic, and that one definitely was not, and I liked it.
Let's take a look at their discography. Their releases start with an EP, a 5-song EP in 2018 called Strange Weather. 5 songs, pretty good. None of them played all that much. But I do want to play you part of one of these songs just to wet the whistle a little bit. It's called I'll Make You a Thief.
I'll make you a thief. I'll catch you red-handed. You wish for the good life, consider it granted, and you'll take advantage of every person you meet. And you call me a poor man, but I call you a thief. And I'll make you a liar, and you'll laugh when I do. You always thought that your words came out of your mouth as nothing but truth, and people perceive you like you're some sort of outsider. And you claim to be honest, yes you do, but I call you a liar. Am I not the power behind your corruption? Don't I the secret to all your success? Well, you made yourself into a dynasty, but maybe you forgot I still hold the power, lay to rest.
All right. I could get lost in all of these songs. This is a 6-minute song. We do not have time to play every minute of all the songs I want to play you. I am resisting that urge. I am putting these songs on the Bands You've Never Heard of complete playlist. If you want to hear them in their entirety, go there and do that. Gary, what did you think of the first song, I'll Make You a Thief by Bad Mother Nature?
I like it. It's very, it doesn't sound like the first LP song or first EP song. It is well ranged and quite slick, quite smooth. I'm not bowled over by their style yet. It seems like it's going to be something that's going to grow on me. But they remind me a lot of Jackson Browne. I mean,
Ooh,
you know,
yeah,
it's
okay.
who also took a long time for me to really, you know, none of his stuff is like gets in your face and goes, you know, look at me, you know. So you know, it's subdued, and very Jackson Browne-esque. But I'm looking forward to more.
Good. Well, I've got more. So that was their first EP, 2018. They're young. They're new. They're figuring it out, and so they put out another album, a full 7-song album in 2019 called Porcelain Martyr. And I'm going to play you a little bit of Hand of Mercy.
I've been reaching out for your hand of mercy. And ain't it funny how it's that same old hand that hurts me? Dreamed of paradise on the faces of fools. How you die trying to get there, but there still ain't no room. My face ain't no different. It's just a fool to sit here and sing. But I still want that picture of paradise opening its gates to me. Oh, I've been reaching out for your hand of mercy. And ain't it funny how it's that same old hand that hurts me? Oh, I ain't injured.
All right. It's about 2 minutes of Hand of Mercy from their second album. Thoughts?
It's still along the same, you know, it's still along the same lines. For my personal taste, the band seemed to be doing a lot more than was what called for by the actual melody, because the melody is really laid back and the band is kind of going for broke from bar one. So it I don't want to say you know, I dislike it, but it seemed like as overplay you know, save that for the end, you know, for me, because it just seems like too much for the very beginning, especially considering how laid back the song actually is.
Very interesting. All right. So I was expecting a different reaction, I gotta say, but these are early, right? The
Yeah.
band has
I
definitely.
wanted to hear the 18-minute song.
Oh my God.
I mean, I don't, but That's gutsy. I mean, and they're doing that all on their own. To do an 18-minute song is just insane.
You want to hear a taste of it?
Not really.
Okay.
I just,
You made the call. We're moving on. We're going to move on to their 2021 album, Heavy Song. This album was released during the pandemic, was a product of the pandemic. I think they had plans to go out and tour and gig and all of that. And I think they ended up in the studio with more time in the studio than they had planned. And they came up with some beautiful music. This is their longest album and probably my favorite overall album. Many, many great songs on it. I'm going to get to my favorite on this album here in a second. But I do want to play you a part of Let Me Die Easy because there's two lead singers in this band and they trade off depending on the song. And you heard one lead singer, the guy on the piano, and that would be Ryan. Now we're going to hear Axel. And he's going to sing Let Me Die Easy. Here we go. Oh, you know what? I think we should do a video. We got a video for this. You want to
yes,
see the band?
I want video whenever we can.
Yeah, we got it from here on out. We're going to do video. And where did Let Me Die Easy? Here we go. Let Me Die Easy from Bad Mother Nature.
Straight out of darkness, a lightning bolt scattered on through. Just for a moment, I got one last good look at you. Ain't meant to last, and you know that it pains me to say. There's evil ahead, we cannot get out of his way. Mama, let me die easy. Mama, let me die easy. I'm a pale kind of shadow of a man. And I bled about as much as one can. Try as I will, every day I was still taking hold on the soul that I am. Slowed down the road 'cause I hadn't seen home in a while.
Let Me Die Easy with Axel on vocals. Thoughts, Gary?
Yeah, now it's getting more. I'm getting it more. It's getting more into my lane, I guess. I'm not here to give objective criticism. It's just all what pops into my head at the moment. I like that, but first thing that came to my mind was the absolute first thing was, are these all group songs, or is that an Axl song and the other ones were, someone else writing? I mean, I didn't look at the credits on it, or is it, because the song structure and everything is, pretty much completely different. And I know it's a whole new record and everything, but
So the credits on this one are written by Axl.
okay.
And if we go look at older albums, let's start with the first one. We listened to I'll Make You a Thief. That one, writing credit is Ryan. So the guy on piano singing the
Okay.
song. Hand of Mercy. We listened to that one earlier. View the credits. Written by Ryan.
And Ryan.
Sings-
Okay.
Yeah. And so you're thinking the writer of the song determines the vibe and sound and all of that?
So far, that's what the evidence is proving.
Yeah.
Okay, so now it's my second question,
Okay.
and I hope this is true.
Oh boy.
Do they have a split song where they both sing
Well,
because their voices are so divergent that it just makes the perfect storm for a killer song that has both of those qualities in it.
so as time has gone on, they have grown into a band that really leans into the harmonies.
Cool.
Yeah. And I think it is time to play you my overall favorite song of theirs. Uh, and it's called Mad Oklahoma. And it does have a video. We will be watching the video. And it's 4.5 minutes long. And this is the only song I decided already. I am only playing one song in its entirety just because this has a potential to really get away from me if I play more songs. And we end up with a 3-hour episode.
Yeah.
So this is the song that I'm going to play for you in its entirety, and I'll explain what I know about it first. They went into this looking to make a song that would fit well into a spaghetti western.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's got what I would consider Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young level harmonies, which is a pretty high bar for harmonies.
Yes.
It starts off with some Spanish sounding guitar, and then morphs into something very different. The video is compelling. They made it themselves in one day, and it's just, I love everything about it. So this is Mad Oklahoma by Bad Mother Nature.
All year long, breaking my bones while the days get shorter. Hoping for a gentle sign from above. Darling, I have to fly. Please don't ask me why. Don't cry. Goodbye, my love. Long I've sown, but nothing grows, and now the nights get colder. Hoping, but a gentle sign never comes. Darling, I have to fly. Please don't ask me why. Don't cry. Goodbye, my love. Mad, mad Oklahoma, only home I've known. Mad, mad Oklahoma, the scale winds have blown. There's a long line heading west, a land of landless men. Mad, mad Oklahoma, till we meet again. Oh, we're living inside a vision of a garden where we die. Oh, forbidden to eat the fruit of any root from another sky. And there are gates I've read about where flowers bloom before too long. And it calls, it calls, it calls a heavy song.
What do you think?
That was very CSNY. I mean, once you get everything, and I don't know. I really enjoyed the song. I really enjoyed the video. It's not something I'm going to put on to listen to.
Gosh.
Um, it's still the one Axel one is still my favorite so far.
Okay.
Period. That one's still just still got that. I mean, yeah, they're from. Well, you said Sacramento. That's Northern California.
Uh-huh.
Because it's amazing. They've got that Southern California vibe so hard. I mean, Jackson Brown, the Eagles, Joe Walsh, all that laid back and nice harmony. I love the harmonies. I'm a sucker for harmonies. Um, but I'm not. It's not putting a fire in my belly yet.
Oh my gosh. All right. We're gonna keep trying. We're not done. This is another song from the same album, Heavy Song, came out in 2021, and we'll be watching the video. If you're watching this podcast on YouTube, you or Spotify, you'll see what we're seeing. If you're just listening, hopefully you're enjoying the music. There is a video component to this, but you don't have to be watching to get a lot out of this. This is Folly Man by Bad Mother Nature.
Seen miles of old bridges just wasting away. I got a mind up, go fix it. Instead, the folly man pray. And there's a folder of old pictures that the government took. It's got a stamp says no peeking. Oh, but the folly man look. Well, hang my head, but don't ignore the folly man, folly man, folly man, folly man. Hang my head, but don't say for the folly man, folly man, folly man, folly man. Well, when the church say getting better, get better for us. We welcome everyone, gonna buy a ticket to heaven, so the folly man comes.
That's enough to get a feel for Folly Man. Your thoughts there? Have we
We're
found
Yeah,
the right song?
we've gone. Yeah, now you got the right song. That one's got a little guts to it, and I love that video. That video is my favorite one so far. Um, their take on the live music video thing is astounding. Love it.
Excellent. All right, we're making
Now, who wrote that song? I want to let's find out. Can we find out
find
from
out.
here?
Folly Man. View credits
That was Ryan. Okay.
by the guy singing. Yeah, the piano guy.
Yeah.
Ryan.
I had a feeling it was, but it actually, to me, it sounded more like an Axl song. But that would move us away from their paradigm, which is if you write it, you sing it. Seems like it.
So my experience with them so far has mostly been audio. I haven't been watching video after video. I started doing more research once I heard back from them and realized we were going to be interviewing them. So I really had to start not just listening to them. So I wasn't super clued in on what you're tapping into now, which is the two different singers and the styles and all that. I'm just loving literally everything they're doing. And a lot of it was background music for my 600-mile motorcycle ride a couple weeks ago. I listened to it in the car. I listened to it at home. But now that I'm pouring deeper and deeper, it gets even better because these guys are, like I mentioned earlier, completely do-it-yourselfers, figuring it out and supporting themselves with the tour and all that. I don't know if they're full-time musicians or if they have day jobs or what, but we'll find that out.
Well, if they do, it's
interview
probably part-time because, man, they are putting some time into this. That's for
Right.
sure. I mean, those videos were quite excellent. And both of them took quite a bit of time to to really get. Well, actually, we've watched 3 so far. The first one I really enjoyed because that was definitely was a DIY with because nobody, I think they were running their own cameras even because, just like when we did ours, somebody had to be behind the camera at any given time, so no one was ever in a whole shot. But the last 2, somebody had to be running the camera,
Right.
because but the visuals on Folly Man, I thought were the best so far, and the just the subject was so good.
All right. The next song does not have video, but it was written by Axl.
Okay.
Dagda Was a Demon by Bad Mother Nature. Dagda Was a Demon by Bad Mother Nature. What'd you think, Gary?
I like it. I like it. And I lean toward Axl's music a little more. That one was the very 70s esque. I think which is not a bad thing. Definitely a good thing. It's the closest to the last Ryan, the Folly Man, of the between the 2 styles. I mean, the first Axl that we heard was a definite outlier from the other ones prior, and then Folly Man kind of brought Ryan closer in, and then this one kind of went toward Ryan just a little bit. So they're getting closer. But danged if I don't. It's making me really want to hear a collaboration with both voices on it, and really, something that is going to combine those 2, because right now we still have kind of a dichotomy here. We got 2 different personalities of the music in the band, and I want it to become one, because we all know that the unit is way bigger than the parts.
Well, let's find out if they did that on their newest album. 1,000 Days of Desert, Rain, and Madness came out in 2023, so it's 2 years now. And as the pandemic is ending, right, and things are getting back to normal, they're making music. And the first song on this album is their most played song on Spotify at 68,000 plays. And I'm pretty sure, let's go find it, a video for this song. Nope, no video. So we're going to hear it. And it's called Now You're Gone.
It's you and me, how we used to be. It's almost like it wasn't dream, our places we had never seen. We found ourselves in the middle of, and well, all I hear are songs, and the seconds long, then your voice is gone. It's almost like it wasn't there, like songs that we could never hear, but found ourselves singing right along. But now you're gone, now you're gone. You dropped my hand and left me on my own, my own, my own. And every time you decide to turn up, you slip away and remind me that you're gone, you're gone, you're gone. And all I need, I'm begging, please deliver me and pull me up from off of my knees. I promise that I'll follow your lead. I didn't think you'd take it this far. I didn't think you'd take you this long. I told you that I know that I'm wrong. I'm lost without you now that you're gone. And now you're gone.
And I could just keep playing that. I need to stop at some point. So Now You're Gone. Thoughts, Gary?
Hands down my favorite Ryan song. And that very first harmony vocal was very reminiscent of Queen back in their heyday, and that just kicked it off on the right foot. Absolutely. I'm liking where they're going. I still want that collaboration, though. I still think that's where their superpower is. Because once again, great song. I love the harmonies, but I feel that there's more. I feel that there's more there, and I gotta have it. You've got me addicted, but the problem is I'm not addicted to this. I'm addicted to what could be.
Oh, you're chasing the rush, huh?
I'm chasing the rush, baby.
I bet.
I want to hear. I want to hear what could be. And I noticed they have. There's you pulled up as we're going along. You pulled up a couple that have, like, everybody as the songwriter, which that might be where we get it. I don't know, but I think that's what I want to try, because I think that's what we need. We need those two guys. We need those two guys to get there and hammer it out together and put, make something that is a cross between the two. And then I think that's where their superpower is going to be, for sure.
Well, this next song would be one of those songs. It's off of their latest album. It's called 1,000 Days, and there's video.
Sweet.
I sold my heart and started out moving a world apart. It makes me wonder just where I'm going, the sky I'm under, this boat I'm rowing. the sound of thunder, but I'm still moving. There are ghosts on the road from the place I had known as sadness, and I trust not a one, and I trust not a word they say. But 1,000 days of desert rain and madness, they led me to water every time I lost my way. I'm slowly losing my mind. I do it all the time. It's not at all like it was before. Well, I had mine, now I want yours, and I decide which way I'll go. These desert rains are all I know, all I know. There are ghosts on the road from the place I had known as sadness, and I trust not a one, and I trust not a word they say. But 1,000 days of desert rain and madness, they led me to water every time I lost my way. But 1,000 days of desert rain and madness, they led me to water every time I lost my way. But 1,000 days of desert rain and madness, it led me to water every time I lost my.
Is that the one?
I rest my case. No, that was the one. Now that and I'll tell you why.
All right.
So we know that their basis is fairly folky. So it starts out as folk song, those beautiful harmonies going on. And I think we can kind of thank Alex for that, because it's that high harmony that's right on, that makes that kind of holds the other ones together. And it almost went too long in the down part, almost, and I say almost because they timed it kind of perfectly, and then they kind of teased us with a heavier part, and then they kind of pulled it back, and then finally went forward and gave us a rocking part. And that is the bad Mother Nature that I wanted to hear.
I thought, as evidenced in the video, I didn't know this until I watched the whole video because I mostly just listen. I don't think that was Ryan or Axel uh,
On lead
as
vocal.
far as lead vocals. I
I
think
think that was yeah, the guitar player. It looked like
Corey, yeah.
Corey.
I think they were all three singing the entire time, harmonizing through the entire song.
Hmm.
Right? There was no point when just one of them was
But
singing.
I think his voice was out front.
Right. The Corey's voice was out front, so not
Yeah,
Ryan's, not Axel's, but they all blended together so good.
yeah.
Wow.
The collaborative song was the best. The hands down is way way better than their most listened to song, which was really good. But and this is just opinion. I mean, this is just what I like to hear, what I would listen to. Um, but this one, more than anything, brings up a question I've got for them uh, is one of them Native American? Because they've had Native American music, little motifs running through since album one, and that one kind of brings it through. Then, of course, the drum kit is very much, and even their name, the Mother Nature uh, is Native American adjacent, but the musical motifs are definitely there, especially in that last one. And I'm very very curious because none of them really look at except maybe Alex a little bit. I don't know.
So Alex and Ryan are brothers.
Oh wow.
Two main lead vocalists are
Hmm.
brothers. And I forget which one it was, but two of them, one of them met Corey in school, and then the three of them formed a band. I think they had another drummer, and then an interim drummer, and then they settled on Johnny McCann, Johnny Mac, Johnny Boy, as I've heard him called,
Hmm.
as their drummer for a while now. So this seems to be the band for a good number of years now, and they seem to be gelling really really well.
Yeah, they need to write more songs amongst themselves.
I,
Uh,
I'm really curious what's going on with them these days because I mean I tried to find them on social media and they do exist. They do have a website, but they haven't been super active. And
and they don't answer stuff very quickly.
well, no, they don't. But this is their website, uh, home clips from the videos, contact us page that I did not really have much success with. They got
That looks like some Instagram going on there,
or
and
music is here. The latest album, it's all the same stuff there. Uh, they've got a press kit, bio, more photos, links to music, links to a bunch of articles, and
mhm,
the VIX Essentials 15. It's 15 is the number, the episode number. The VIX
mhm.
Essentials is a podcast. It's out of Great Britain. And I got a lot of information about the band from that podcast. So I do want to shout out to that podcast. It's not too dissimilar from what we're doing in his podcast. He might have multiple segments. He plays songs from his bands that he loves and he interviews them. So a lot of it is what we're doing. And I'm thinking I might reach out to the VIX Essentials and see if there's any kind of collaboration that should happen or something like that. But great
Oh, that
podcast.
would be way cool. Yeah.
They've got links to articles about them, but all of that stuff is about 4 years old.
Hmm.
Like they were doing a lot of it during the pandemic, and as the pandemic was coming to an end, and they were getting back out there. So a lot of stuff. I haven't seen a lot of stuff from them like recently. At the bottom of their website, they've got links to all their socials. Let's go see their Instagram. And most recent post was from 36,
2024.
yeah, 36 weeks ago, December of 24. And their Facebook is not much newer than that, I don't believe, but a little bit maybe. Am I right? Am I remembering? No, April of 2024. Older than that. Happy birthday, Corey. So they're not updating a bunch. They must still be a thing because they did respond and agreed to an interview, and they're excited about it, and I'm excited about it. But I decided to hold off on my questions until we talk to them because I want to know what is going on with them right now.
Yeah.
Are
yeah.
they?
What the fuck?
Yeah. Are they playing?
Are they woodshedding, or are they recording a new record? What's going on? But if they are, they should be letting people know. I mean, they got 68,000 viewers out there or listeners that might like to hear something new, especially if it's a collaboration amongst all.
Right. I'm glad we got there. I was getting a little worried that you didn't instantly fall in love with them like I did, but
I did not. No,
I did start with even my least favorite of their songs. Their older stuff, it doesn't do it as much for me as their newer stuff does, but more of their newer stuff definitely does it for me.
Yeah. Well, and you kind of know where I come from. I'm a bigger fan of the higher energy stuff. I mean, unless it is super low energy, it's like all the mid energy. It's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot to get me up on the soapbox, because it's I'm really into very low energy, like almost lo-fi, stuff like that. But the mid tempo, very smooth and everything. That's not what I listen to.
All right,
And,
I forgot about this one song, and you said high energy, and this one song comes to mind. So we're gonna end it here before we transition over to the second half of this show, where we actually interview Bad Mother Nature. So this is "Time to Run." It's the second song on their third album, Heavy Song, and it is written by Axl, and it is high energy.
I've got a song that lives in my head. Made me go trying to rock and roll, babe. Won't let me sleep in the nights, drive me crazy. Gonna go catch a day if I can. Time to run. This life don't stop until we're done. Break on through the daylight. Kiss the morning sun. There ain't no reason I can stay. Got to leave today. Time to run and not look back again. Ooh, someday I hope you'll understand. Down back home is a girl that I know. Won't let me stay, but can't let me go. And on that day that I finally leave, just don't say I never told you so. Time to run. This life don't stop until we're done. Break on through the daylight.
I'm going to bring the volume down on that. We're going to talk over it for a minute, and then we're going to transition into the interview part of the show. Gary, your thoughts on "Time to Run"?
well, my thoughts on people
Axl.
ripping off Bo Diddley. So
I don't know. I don't
my
know.
personal friend Bo Diddley.
This is a Bo Diddley thing?
Yeah. But the Bo Diddley beat is that first part. And it's fine. It's an homage. They're not ripping him off. I mean, it's an homage because he refuses to play it now. Well, before he died, he refused to play it. He actually threatened to fire the band if they ever in rehearsal or anything played Bo Diddley beat. And it's a fun song.
It is, right? And I want to ask them about that because
But talk about your departure from everything else that they do.
Totally, right? None of their other songs have a lightheartedness to them. Everything seems to be really heavy, right?
Yeah.
1,000 Days of Desert Rain and Sadness. I mean, that Dagda was a demon. I mean, there's so much here going on, but it's all like deep, important, heavy shit.
And I do like the video. The video is totally silly, and it's all. I mean, this is their humor song. This is their This is just throwing it out there, and But yeah, thanks for that one. I appreciate it.
All right, we'll let this song play out,
yeah.
and when we come back, we'll be live with Bad Mother Nature.
What's up, boys? There he is.
Yeah, JR just canceled the meeting. No drummer.
What's Johnny got going on that's more
on
important than our podcast?
He's on a work thing.
Business
trip. So.
Oh.
Oh, business.
Yeah, I know. Boring
Well,
business.
this is business.
Yes.
It is.
Yes, it is.
No, we appreciate you having us on.
Yeah.
Hey, we appreciate you coming together for us. My name's Gary.
Gary.
And I'm JR.
And that's JR.
We play together in a band that you've never heard of. And we've had podcasts, and we had this idea to feature bands that I just scour Spotify for that are not yet hitting the algorithm, right? And then if they're good and have some personality, I reach out and we try to make a show out of it. And you guys lit a flame for me right away.
Yeah, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, we. I think it's actually a really cool idea for a podcast. It's kind of like scour through Spotify and some of these streaming platforms for a bunch of bands that are pretty killer, but just don't have that sort of like mainstream, like you said, the algorithm catch.
The algorithm, yeah. I mean, it's. We were just talking about that earlier on. I mean, I'm going to steal JR's first question.
Go for it, Gary.
What did it make you? How did it make you feel when you got asked to be on a podcast called "Bands You've Never Heard of"?
We were excited. I mean, I thought it was awesome. Axe was the one that got the voicemail, I guess.
Yeah, I guess it means we. I know you guys tried to contact us for a while now. I think via email. So
sorry about that. I don't know how we missed that. Yeah, was it a Facebook message or was it actual email?
Well, dude, I hit the contact us page on your website. I started there.
Okay.
I found an email address on it was on one of your socials or YouTube or something. I emailed that separately. Nothing. I commented on one of your YouTube videos and said, "Please read my emails and get back to me." And I couldn't send a message on Facebook. Like that wasn't a thing. I don't think.
Oh, really?
It was weird. There was no message button, and I may not have tried hard enough. And then, as I was telling Gary in the first half of this show, I went into your website to buy a T-shirt, and couldn't because you won't ship them to Virginia for whatever reason. And somehow, in trying to figure that out, I ended up on a page with a phone number. I don't care. I'm calling it and seeing what happens, and that's when it worked.
We're uncontactable.
Joe, this is why we're a band you've never heard of.
We were going to ask that. That was the follow-up question. Do you think that could be playing any part in your
yeah, no doubt,
in
no
your
doubt.
predicament or
We
your
used to be
situation?
really on top of our communication, and I feel like we've fallen off a little bit.
Yeah, well, so there is a reason for that. It's not that we've been sort of I guess we have been a little bit neglectful of our social media, but we've been focusing pretty much. I mean, the past probably at least year and a half on just working on these demos for a new EP that we're about to start recording actually this weekend. That we're really excited about. And so after we had released our last EP, and I think it was like 2023, it was like a couple years ago.
Yes.
We were pretty hot. I mean, like we were definitely going on upward trajectory. We played a couple really big shows in front of thousands of people. Concerts in the Park here in Sacramento is a really big sort of like a summer festival series that they do, and we got to co-headline one of the shows, and so it was really great. But then we all kind of realized we were sort of hitting the gas, I think, a little too hard, and we were all kind of getting married and starting families, and it was kind of a lot. And so we realized we didn't want to burn ourselves out. We didn't want our band to kind of combust and just dissolve, and then maybe resentment builds or something like that. So we were just why don't we just kind of take it easy for a minute? We don't, let's just be a band. Let's just work on some fun new music that's exciting for us without the pressure of constantly having to be posting to social media, finding a new video to make,
Appeasing
plan.
the algorithm.
Yeah,
Really.
appeasing the algorithm, finding a new show to play. Like it was a lot of work because we don't have a manager. It's literally just the four of us. So we just felt like it's maybe time to just kind of, because I mean we've been a band since 20. I think this month was in 2015, exactly 10 years ago. We formed the band. Me and Axel did, at least with our original drummer friend named Seth. And then Ryan joined the band probably 9 months later, like in 2016. And then from there, so I mean, we've been a band for close to a decade now, and hit it really, really hard. And then, yeah, we kind of just realized, like, let's just make music because we enjoy making it without the need to try and make it for, like Ryan said, like for the algorithm, for TikTok and for Spotify and things like that. Because who knows how long that's going to last. But, if we can write some good songs, ideally those will last longer than some streaming playlist or whatever. So
I am so excited to hear that that's why you guys seem to have gone radio silent.
Yeah,
for
no,
the past
that's
year or
literally,
so.
yeah, that's literally the reason was we were just like, let's just focus kind of on us for a minute.
When you have to do kind of everything, when you have to be in charge of communications and obviously the music and all the the stuff that goes into that, and like producing your own video content and playlisting and stuff like that, it does kind of get overwhelming. And again, Corey mentioned this happened all around the same time where we're all getting married. The three of us all got married within like a 9-month window around the time we released our last project.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Yeah.
We got married to each other is why.
Oh, perfect.
In that meantime,
a throuple.
we were still getting together several times a week and working on these new songs. And I think once we're ready and the recordings are all finished, that's when we're going to reevaluate our online ecosystem. We're going to look at our and obviously go through our email systems and make sure that's all up to date. And then it will be much more accessible.
Yeah.
But we really just wanted to focus on the music and make sure the music is good. And once we're satisfied with the songs and they come out how we like them in the recording, then we can focus on the other stuff, right? But the music has to come first. And I'm glad to hear you're excited because we're really excited. I think it's some of the best stuff that we've written. And we've been excited about stuff we've written before, but like this, it's really kind of sometimes it's nice to kind of take a step back and you learn a lot about yourself and you kind of give yourself room to breathe. And I think the music is going to show in that. So it's exciting.
That's fantastic. In the first half of this show, I introduced Gary to you guys. I've been living with you for a couple months now. He's been aware of you for a few days.
Nice.
And I took him through a journey, played him some songs from all four of your releases.
Yeah.
And he was by far most excited about 1,000 Days as a song because it was clear to him and us that it was all four of you working together. It wasn't a Ryan song, an Axel song, right? It was a band song. And I was also pouring through a lot of your interviews and stuff where you guys actually said that at the time, anyway, this was a couple years ago now, but that there have only been about 3 songs that we've written as a whole band, lyrics, music, and all, and we tend to find that those have been our best songs, so we've been gravitating towards that strategy lately.
Yeah.
And that was before 1,000 Days came out.
Yeah.
That you said that. And then, so clearly, it seems like that came to fruition with 1,000 Days, and are you taking that to the next level with what you're working on now?
Yeah, I would say so. We have... Well,
I would say yes and no to that.
Yeah, that's true. I was going to say yes and no. I think so. It's a 4-song EP that we're recording right now, tentatively untitled. We have a couple kind of ideas for potential titles of the EP, but it's going to be a 4-song. And the premise behind it is it's essentially each track is kind of a variation of the band. So like one song is Axel on guitar with Axel singing. Another one is Axel on guitar with Ryan singing. Another one is me on guitar with Axel singing. And then the other one is me on guitar with Ryan singing. So it's each variation of the band, each in a style of music that we've traditionally done throughout our sort of catalog of music. And so like one's a pretty heavy rocker, one's a bit more, I don't know, kind of like prog, kind of a, maybe not really psychedelic, but maybe a little, kind of like a 1,000 Days, or maybe Once a Dark and Lonely Night, or even Mad Oklahoma, maybe. We have another one that's a little bit more of kind of a, probably like the pop track of the album maybe, and then another one that's kind of more of a straight ahead rocker. So it's but one of them was written by Ryan. It's a Ryan track. The other one was written by Axe, definitely an Axe track. The other two are kind of collab tracks. Keepers was written, I guess, by Ryan, but that's been a real collaborative band effort in the vein of like 1,000 Days, where
Yeah, I would say this release is going to be really diverse. Each of the 4 songs sounds like us, but sounds different. None of the songs are going to be like sung collaboratively as the whole band. There is going to be a different lead singer.
right. Yeah, true.
But that being said, we are doing a lot of stuff in this new release that we haven't done before that we're really excited about. So every time we write a new song or a new album or project, we like to do something a little different, right? Each one kind of has its own style, its own flavor, and that's what this new one will have. That's what our kind of past ones will have. And we even have ideas for projects down the line that get pretty ambitious and go in different directions too. So
yeah,
I mean, it's all exciting.
Do you find do you have any issues with the way you book your shows or the way you play your set relative? Because I mean, you run the gamut. You have some really, laid back California rock,
yeah,
all the way up to some almost Detroit rock going on. And because does that ever do you ever have a problem with that, or how do you build your sets around that?
Yeah, that's a good question. No, yeah, that's a good observation. To answer you, yeah, we did initially. It was kind of tricky for us to sort of figure out how to weave between switching off between me and Axe, live, because that only came to fruition. You may have heard us talk about it in previous interviews, but when we started the band, it was just me and Axel, and then our friend Seth, who was our original drummer.
Mm-hmm.
He was kind of a multi-instrumentalist and could play anything, but he could play drums, and me and Axe couldn't. So by default, he was the drummer, and we're like, all right, well, me and Axe were both guitar players initially, and so we're like, well, one of us should probably play bass. So some of the songs I'd be on bass while we were jamming, and then others, I'd be on guitar and he would hold down the bass, and from then on, it just kind of evolved that way to where it just became kind of comfortable for us to just sort of switch off, and even to this day, there's no I don't think there's ever really been a thing where it's like, no, I'm on bass on this song. No, I'm on bass. No, you're on guitar. No, I'm on guitar. Like, it's just very naturally. Usually it's like Axel write a song. He writes it from the point of view of a guitar. So he's kind of by default sometimes on guitar, but not always the case. Like that song, Truth Is On Your Face, which is on our original EP, Strange Weather, our very first EP, he wrote on the bass. It was a bass line that he came up with first. And so then I was just kind of on guitar by default at that point. So
definitely, yeah, having kind of the different iterations, having 2 different lead singers and 2 guitar players is, I mean, it can be a challenge as far as writing a live show, because we want to balance, have there be balance. We also want to have songs that we're all singing, because we like having a diverse sound. We like giving the audience a little bit different stuff throughout the show. Yeah. And we like having it flow, right? We want it, of course, to end on a high note. We want it to start energetically, but we want it to kind of peak and valley throughout the show as well. And so, I mean, personally, I don't know if the other guys feel the same way. I kind of like it when there's not too many songs sung by one person in a row, or maybe usually we do it logistically is maybe I'll start the show on bass. In the middle, I'll be playing guitar, and then maybe end it on bass, just depending on kind of how what songs we're going to play.
Yeah, depends on how long the set is, too.
There is a bit of logistical kind of things we have to think about when it comes to putting the live set together, for sure.
Yeah. But we had it down, like when we were playing our shows, like we had it down kind of to a science. We're like, all right, there's a few songs that were like, they're kind of staples, in the set, like just fan favorites that people really like. So we dropped those in there. We kind of knew when to put them in. We also realized that kind of keeping the show moving with like instrumental little transitions and things like that could kind of help blend the transition of actually exchanging instruments between me and Axe, like Johnny and Ryan can hold down a little thing or something while we just swap real quick so the audience doesn't really know. And that actually worked one time. Like sometimes fans have come up and been like, we didn't realize that you guys switched. Like you were on bass and now you're suddenly on guitar. Like we didn't even notice. So it's like, that's cool that we were able to kind of like pull that off. But yeah, logistically speaking, it was tricky in the beginning, but I think over time we were able to kind of like shave it down into something that kind of worked. Because then we ended up almost getting like a template for certain sets. So it's like, okay, if we have an hour-long show, this will probably be the template we can use, and then we can just kind of drag and drop songs as needed, right? And then, or if it's like just a half an hour set or a hour and a half set or whatever it is, like we kind of had like templates set up, and then whichever songs we wanted to play, we could just sort of drop those in, and it was pretty much like that. So,
does the audience see you as one band with multiple singers, or do you notice some of the audience goes to get a beer when Ryan's singing and other parts go get a beer when Axel's singing? Or is that a thing? Do they just love it all?
I mean, I think generally the whole set people are pretty into for.
I think they dig it all, to be honest.
We try and make a set to where like, now this is a part you can go kind of take a break from. I'm sure people still do it, of course, it's a live show.
Sure.
But I guess from my perception, no, that hasn't really been a thing where it's like people will kind of tune out for one act of songs.
We usually got pretty good at like pointing each other out. Like if Axe is singing a song and then I'm going to sing the next one, Axe will be like, Ryan's going to take this next one, and then points at me, and then I do a little thing on the keys. And or like if Corey's on guitar about to do a solo, we'll shout him out or whatever. And so we kind of like direct the audience to wherever we're going, because it was something we were always super conscious of.
Yeah.
In terms of, like, hey, this is a weird stage presence and we're going to have to like really navigate it, as a dynamic. And it did take us a little while, but we got it down. So
how does Johnny fit into all of this? Right. He's not here today. And
we can talk about him.
Right.
Who's Johnny?
when I look through the credits on Spotify, I don't see his name as a writer on any of these songs. The collaborative process that you guys have been working on and evolving, how involved is he in that, or is he just a hired gun as the drummer, or what? Like how does it work with Johnny?
It's kind of tricky because like a lot of the times, like when it's asking for like songwriting credits, it's usually just asking for the person that wrote the lyrics, and usually it's Ryan or Axe. In terms of like shaping the entire song, I'm not confident if there's ever been a single song that we've ever made that like Axe or Ryan wrote the entire thing. Like, here's exactly how it goes. There's a couple exceptions that have gotten pretty close, but I mean, once the band comes in and brings their own like flavors and everything to it, it's always going to kind of change and like adjust and everything. And Johnny is there for like the rehearsal process. And by the way, he is part of the band. Like if there's anything that he isn't available to do, if he doesn't want to do, with the exception of this interview, but like a show or something like that, like if he's not available, like we just won't do it, because it's like he is as big a part of the band for us as any of the other members, right? So
all the drum parts, all the drum parts that I was just gonna say, everything that he contributes to the band is like, we wouldn't be the same without John Boy, because the drum parts that he's able to write and come up with, because the three of us aren't drummers, you know what I mean? Right. Like we do the stupid thing where we go do like a dum dum kappa bum bum, like, and we're doing drummer talk, and he just rolls his eyes and then does something way better.
Right.
So yeah, Johnny helps us build all the tracks. If Axe and I or Corey are writing a song, we might come to him with like a temp drum part, and then he'll be like, nah, this is, let's do something different. And he takes a way cooler direction, and it always works out. So he does, to answer your question, he does build the tracks with us and contribute all of his parts. Just in terms of like lyric writing, that's mostly me and Axe and Corey overall.
Yeah.
In the future, just drop the word paradiddle a few times.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, that would impress him.
Yeah, he would just go, what?
Hey, was that a triplet you just did?
Yeah, exactly.
I noticed that flam. After the paradiddle, you had the paradiddle and then the flam. Oh,
yeah.
The interesting dynamic that could be mentioned is, he doesn't really, he's not really involved, and maybe he would kind of want to be, but it's when it comes to chords and lyrics, that's mainly the three of us right here. Johnny, so the three of us come from kind of a classic rock background. We kind of were raised by parents that loved rock and roll when they were kids, and that kind of just filtered through us. Mm-hmm. Johnny's different though. Johnny is way more like a punk metalhead guy.
Yeah.
And so I think he's taken that style and bringing that to us. I think just his style and his taste in music is a little different. However, his drumming ability translates, I think, beautifully to the songs that we write. It really adds like a cool edge to it and a really cool dynamic And I mean, he's just a really great drummer. Like, he's really, really good, and he's just also a great guy to be in the band too. Like, he's very positive, very upbeat, very very into it, and easy to get along with. So I think, and that is an important quality as anything in any band member, right?
Yeah.
So I would say that's kind of how he fits in. All four of us are very close. We all live within like 10 minutes of each other. We see each other all the time, not just for jamming and practicing and shows, but we get together all the time for, say, family band dinners, or sometimes we'll all go somewhere together, hang out. We're all married as well, so it's like there's a group, a band family, and so I think that all kind of contributes to kind of our whole culture as a band.
Yeah,
I think
and also I was going to say too. Oh, I just wanted to add real quick for Johnny is like his ability at the drums, like the style that he brings, like Axe said, is a little different than what we were used to, but it's kind of nice because it challenges us to like push ourselves harder musically, and then we inversely, while we're pushing ourselves to sort of catch up to his drums, he is adjusting and trying to challenge himself to catch up with some of the parts that we're riding. So we're kind of doing this weird like sort of stack up thing to where we kind of like push each other's talents to like the edge of like our ability, really, like when it comes to live and even like songwriting and performing it and things like that. So it's like all the songs that we write, we kind of end up creating these pieces that sometimes, or even just like a little moment or something in the tracks that are like just at the edge of like our musical ability that we really have to like hang on. But it's a fun challenge because it's never boring to play live. You always look forward to those moments where you're like, all right, I got to stick this landing. You know what I mean? Like this is a little thing that we're all doing in unison, like a little run or something like that. Like we all got to hit our part. And adding little things like that is really fun for us because it sort of like challenges one another. They're fun to do just musically, and it just makes it interesting and kind of keeps it on our toes. And so I'd say like Johnny's background and talents as a drummer, because like you guys know, the better the drummer, the better the band. Like he's the backbone of this track. So if he's locked in, like we don't really have anything to worry about. You know what I mean?
And his heavy drums plays really well with the heaviness of your lyrics. Heavy keeps coming up. It's in a couple of songs. You got an album called Heavy Song.
Yeah.
And it strikes me, I've been listening a lot, that with the exception of maybe one song, all of your songs are like heavy, like the like lyrically, right? The meaning of them. You're dealing with some really deep stuff. And
yet musically it is much lighter, in
sometimes it is.
I wouldn't say all the time. No, I
not
think
all the time, but in a lot of cases
it has some gravity to it.
You're smuggling in the deep and dark.
Yeah, sometimes we do, and then sometimes we just kind of meet it head on. Like you said, Jared. Yeah, sometimes the tracks are like 1,000 Days. I think is a good example. That's a song that we all were very deeply personal about when we were writing it. It affected all of us. I think
that's your Stairway to Heaven, by the way.
Oh, thank you. That was a very 1,000 Days. Yeah, I mean that was a very personal and emotional song for us. And so like when we were creating it, like I remember the first time even that we pitched it to Johnny in the band room, he was immediately like, what's that? Like, and then it hit him on like an even deeper emotional level.
Wow.
And then when we started like working on that track, we were just like, let's just lean into the emotion because it is an emotional song, and like let's just really build that up. And so when it slams at the end, it's almost like this cathartic release of like everything that's been kind of like built up, you know what I mean? And it really hits.
That one's hands down my favorite. I mean,
that
already
was
said that, but I just wanted to reiterate real quickly on that. So.
Yeah, no, thank you. And we have a couple other tracks on this upcoming EP that are in that vein that we're very like excited about. I think that are like maybe not that heavy and emotional, but like definitely in the same room. You know what I mean?
So everything I've seen from you guys, including the last 20 minutes in this interview, tells me you are nice, well-adjusted family men, probably had, you talk about your parents raising you with classic rock and stuff. It doesn't seem like the type of people that would generate the deep, dark, heavy stuff that you guys write about. Like, where does that come from?
That's a good question. I mean, I've thought about that. Like, what's that?
I'm just cynical.
I was gonna say. I mean, like, if you think about it, like Pink Floyd, they were all like rich Cambridge kids, like they didn't have like a ton of struggles, but they wrote some of the deepest, most emotional, profound music, out there. And it's not like we weren't raised in like poverty or anything like that, but we weren't like wealthy, and we didn't have, I think each of us individually have, just as people, just faced struggles and stuff like that. And you have like kind of down parts in your lives, like kind of low points. And then you have some times that are really good, but I think also we're not really afraid to kind of like maybe touch that sort of emotional side of yourself, like when you're a band. Like sometimes you want to play some kind of surface level, sort of just fun kind of rock stuff, but then other times you feel like getting a little bit more, I don't know what would be the word, like, I don't know, emotional, for lack of a better term. You kind of feel like you just have something to say, and sometimes we have a lot of stuff we want to say and get off our chest, and so this is kind of a good vehicle to kind of do that.
It's a
I think
catharsis.
also,
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yep.
I think also, like, especially in terms of, I can only speak for myself in terms of like what I like to write, is that it's music that I like to listen to, which is not always like dark, spooky stuff. But I think like in college, I got really jaded with all the kind of like cheesy pop songs and just like all the mainstream music that was just sort of nonsense lyrics.
Mhm.
You could tell it was just sort of made in a lab by, these songwriters who don't really care about it. But then you listen to like other artists that like really pour out a bunch of just their heart and soul into everything and write about deep topics. And I always just thought those were the more interesting songs to me. Like one of my favorite bands is The Band, and like Robbie Robertson just wrote whatever the hell he wanted. He just loved like history and like, he had some Native American background. And so he wrote about stuff like that and like the Civil War in the South. And like, he's Canadian, of course, but like, Levon Helm,
Right.
Southern boys.
Hey,
And
Canada's in North America. It counts.
exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I always just love that too. Like, like if you take one of our songs, like A Pleasant Fall, it's just a song about, like God riding a train through like history and just like saying,
Yeah.
just like the folly of man.
Yeah.
And then he wrote a song called Folly Man. And then it's like,
Yeah, exactly.
so I don't know. Axe, what's your take?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's funny because I had thought about that a little bit, but maybe not in a while. I'm not against like writing happy songs, but it seems when we write kind of the songs that have a little more deepness or heaviness, they seem just to be more interesting or maybe more honest. I think no matter who you are as a person, there's always, no matter where you are in life, there's always things that you think about that, maybe could be better, or things that you don't understand, or things that make you uncomfortable. And I think, again, no matter who you are, that you got to find that to tap into. I don't know. I think I don't know if I have a better answer beyond that. I guess you just write kind of what you write. I don't think like I ever intended to only write heavy stuff, or I think as a band we only ever intended to write that kind of stuff, and yet we do kind of write a lot of that stuff. So I don't know. Maybe that says lies.
We've also always been conscious of that because early on we found out, like playing live shows, that we had a lot of dark and gloomy songs. And so we would notice that with like crowd reactions. So we did at some point
we more goths showing up, or
we tried making a conscious effort to write kind of like more upbeat songs. But even those still ended up sounding dark and gloomy.
Yeah, it's like the music might have been a little maybe more upbeat, quote unquote, but the lyrics always still drifted back into that same territory. Yeah, I was gonna say I'll jump on.
There's nothing wrong with that. I mean,
no, there's not. And I was just gonna add to what Axe was saying is yeah, like he was saying how everybody sort of what did you just say? I just lost you.
That says something about how no matter who you are, everyone has things.
That's what it was. Yeah, is that I think writing songs that are a little bit more honest, not necessarily like down or like gloomy songs, but I think that those are tracks that appeal to everybody in the long run. They sort of exceed a trend. It's the reason why bands like Pink Floyd and Radiohead and some of these bands that are kind of like, you might consider them sort of like weird proggy kind of doomery bands, like they last forever, because I think sometimes people just feel a real sadness in their life about something, or a real happiness, or a real just, I don't know, they just feel a certain way. And so sometimes they'll go out and seek those types of songs because they just need to know that there's someone else out there, whether it was 30 years ago or 50 years ago or right now, that feels the same way they do. and it is just a very human kind of connection on that, So someone needs to know that God was out there riding around on a train during World
Riding
War
the
II,
trains.
and there's a
Yeah.
song out there for him.
Just
Yeah,
back to what Ryan just said just a minute ago about the Native American stuff. I did notice a lot of Native American imagery, like on the kick drum. You got a Native American symbol. There's Native
Yeah.
American imagery in several of your videos. Anyone Native American of any level, or is that just something that y'all like, or
No, it
where's that
actually,
fit in?
yeah,
I'll answer this one, Corey,
oh, you go for it, right?
well, at least so Corey and we're brothers, and so we're both from a little town in California called Bishop, and it's about 3,000 people, pretty small, and it's in the middle of this really kind of long, deep valley. It's up pretty high, about 4,000 feet. Like if you know where Mount Whitney is, which they call like the tallest peak in the continental United States, it's kind of near there, and or kind of near Death Valley, and we did have a large Native American population there, and our mom worked on the reservation for many years, over a decade.
Yeah.
And we're not Native American, and I'm not going to pretend that I'm like part of that culture or anything. But there was a lot of stuff that I just liked about it growing up. Like there's these two big mountains in Bishop called Mount Tom and Mount Basin. And like the Paiute used to call it like the mother and father of the valley. So like we have some of that imagery in some of our songwriting. And with like the antlers and everything like that, and like the dream catcher, like that doesn't necessarily have specific roots, but it's imagery that we really liked early on, and kind of like kind of like the natural aspect of it. And also I ended up, I don't remember if we did this before or after, but I thought one of the coolest things we could possibly ever do was put antlers on my keyboard, like on my piano live.
Yeah,
and
yes.
did that. And then I don't remember if the antler logo came before that or after that.
I think it came after, because then we hung a dream catcher from those antlers, and then I think that dream catcher logo with antlers on it is what Axe came up with after. So I think the antlers on the keyboard idea came first.
I think
the
you're
logo
right.
that.
Yeah, maybe that's the part that came from. But we just liked a lot of that just like sort of type of imagery, and like big in the mountains and stuff. Like if you see our video "Rest of Me," in the desert, that's in Bishop, and one of the shots you can see Mount Tom. Well, a couple of the shots you can see Mount Tom in the background, and it's just gargantuan. It's a big old boy, but yeah, we and obviously we do a lot of songs like Mount Oklahoma's all out in the woods, and it's kind of like
Loch Levin.
Loch Levin is another one, and we're all very we just like incorporating some of those elements, I think, into our writing and into our style.
Yeah, it's Mother Nature.
Absolutely, bad Mother Nature. In fact,
bad Mother Nature,
as in badass. I've watched all these videos, and it's clear you guys look great on camera. You emote well. I do a little bit of acting on the side. You guys were acting in these videos. Have you thought about like breaking into acting at all? Like, is that a thought? Because you guys are really good at making these videos, and I know you do.
Thank you.
Actually, most of it yourself. So you're in front of the camera, you're behind the camera, but
yeah.
I mean, this is an additional skill. I don't know. Did you know you had that skill ahead of time? Did you figure it out during that time? Are you planning more videos? Because I want to see more.
Oh yeah. No, we definitely have some ideas for some more. Well, I mean, at least I do. I'm sure Axe does too, for some more music videos that could either coincide with the release that we're hoping to do soon with these tracks that we're about to start recording, or future tracks. But yeah, I mean, Axe and I actually met, as I'm sure you know, we met in film school at Sacramento State, and so we have kind of a film background anyway. So when it came time to, we had actually pursued film before we started a band. He and I just both happened to play guitar. And so we were actually pursuing film for a couple of years, like immediately out of college, and had a couple little projects that we had worked on. But then the group that we were kind of with sort of dissolved, and they kind of went off and did their own thing. So Axe and I were like, well, do you want to start a band? And so then once we started the band, that actually kind of became a pretty nice vehicle for us to just try using our film skills and just shoot music videos for the songs that we were writing, and it kind of went hand in hand. It was actually pretty serendipitous that way. So the videos that we shot, like most of those music videos that are from the heavy song album, like Trolley Man and Lock 11 and all those. We shot all those in 2020, like during COVID and
Yeah.
immediately after. I mean, we probably shot like 7 videos in like a year. It was crazy, just because we didn't have much else to do, and we were all living together at the time too. So it was kind of easy for us to sort of like write the album, record the album, come up with music video ideas, and then just go out and do them. And all we did was we had a friend of ours named Hayden who he basically just ran the camera. But I mean, like we conceptualized the videos, built the props. Like for Mad Oklahoma, we built the coffin and went and got costumes and drug it all the way up to Forest Hill where Johnny lived, and just found a good day when it was kind of like in the winter, kind of like snow on the ground, and it started snowing while we were filming, which was cool, and just kind of film. So it was just things like that. Like, we just have an idea and just kind of go make it, So I think we realized that we're good at making music videos, but like music videos for us, I'm not sure how well like some of our ideas might translate to like a different band, but like for, you know what I mean? Like for our style of music, we're kind of down for whatever. So there's really nothing off limits as far as I can tell, So
You were clearly down for whatever when I got to the Time to Run video.
yeah. That's when you could tell we were a little delirious, I think from
That was a hot day. We filmed that. There's a spillway that runs parallel to my house.
Yeah.
And we thought, this is a cool location. Let's try and do something here. It was in the middle of summertime. That was like 100 degrees. It's really hot out here in California, Sacramento area in the summertime. And we just had I don't know whose concept that was. I don't know if it was mine or someone else.
Got the romper.
I still have
Romper.
got the rompers. We got some rollerblades. Someone had a bike.
Yeah.
It was me. I don't know. And then some rope. And then we just kind of went and just kind of had fun filming it for a day.
Yeah, I don't recall that we had a plan for that video. I think Axe was like, I just want to film a video in the spillway behind my house, and we were like, all right. And then I think it was probably also you that was like, what if we all did it in rompers? And we were like, that was someone's idea. And then we were like, all right, fine. Maybe it was Ryan's idea.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you storyboarded these or anything, but
Some of them we did.
Yeah, the rest of me. Yeah, rest of me video I storyboarded. What's that?
Oh, just like for sure, Rest of Me and Mount Oklahoma, we storyboarded.
Yeah, we storyboarded those out. In fact, you could see like on our Instagram, there's actually a video that's a side by side, like shot for shot from the storyboard to the actual filming of the Rest of Me video. Because like I found this app on like my iPad that allowed you to kind of like storyboard. It was just like a storyboarding app, and Ryan I think had the concept for that video of just a kind of a dude running through the desert, but he looks kind of like all blinged out and stuff. And we're like, all right, that's cool. So we're like, well, let's go film it in Bishop. So we went there, and then I was storyboarding kind of some just angles and just trying to kind of work out some stuff. So by the time we got there to film, I mean, it was like flying. Like we knew exactly the shots we needed. We had the shot list. It was actually a really clean, easy shoot, and it turned out great. Like it looks awesome.
Your behind the scenes video for that video makes it clear that you guys this wasn't a let's go figure it out in the desert. No, you clearly had a plan. So
yeah, because I mean, also it's like, we don't want to waste our time, but also it's like if there's a space that we're using or something like that, it's like you just don't want it. You just want everything to run efficiently, and so the more preparation that you have on the front end, it just makes, like, shooting days are so stressful anyway. There's so many factors that you're just like, whatever we can just keep in our control, let's just do that, So it really is kind of preparation. It's the same thing for live shows. Anything can happen at live shows. Mic could give out or amp could crap out on you. Anything could happen. So as long as you're kind of like prepped and have like contingency plans, then you're going to be fine, for the most part.
Also, one cool thing about the Rest of Me video, just a little fun fact, if you go back and watch it, you can't tell a lot in the video, but it was like the smokiest day in the world because during these like gnarly wildfires in California. So the whole valley was just like completely filled with smoke. Yeah. And like the shots of the sun and everything, it's all diffused. So it actually turned out like with awesome lighting because it was all super diffuse. And we probably lost like a year of our lives just breathing all that smoke, but it was worth it.
It was worth it.
Definitely worth it. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
When watching the Time to Run video, I wrote down a question, and I hope you don't get mad at me, Axel. As my question was, is Axel actually a maniac, or does he just look like that? Because you look crazed in that video, riding the roller, playing the guitar, singing. And Let Me Die Easy. You look kind of crazy. Is this? Are you actually kind of crazy, or is that just your look?
I think I'm a pretty down to earth, pretty reserved guy generally, but I do think I have some mania latent that comes out when it's time to perform or to shoot a music video. I don't know, I do enjoy kind of just having fun and doing some of those crazy things. I don't know. I think I guess being in a band and music is a great way just to express yourself. So I wouldn't say I'm a maniac. I don't know if they would describe the rest of the guys would describe me as a maniac, but I mean, like I said, we all have our own personalities that kind of shine through when we let them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
JR's asking that question. I'm sitting here thinking, Alex seems to be pretty laid back. I mean, generally, if you're a maniac, you're a maniac. It's like
Yeah, Axel's
you
ironically
don't really
probably
turn it off.
no,
It's
he's
like,
probably the most down, like just laid, yeah, very like calm, chill dude out of all of us, I would
Yeah,
say.
I generally don't let my emotions go too far.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, we're all human, I guess. But when it comes to like the Time to Run music video, I think we wanted it to be silly. I wanted it to be silly, so it's like, okay, well, what are we doing? Like, let's just have fun. Again, it was a very hot day, so I'm sure my hair was frizzy and long. We're all kind of probably delirious from the heat. And the heat kind of gets trapped in that spillway with the concrete and stuff.
Yeah.
And we're just on rollerblades. I do remember being exhausted after that. I think I was. Oh my god! I think we were all tired. And I remember I went home and I slept. Well, I went home. My house was right there,
20 feet away.
I rode the rollerblades home. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I commuted.
Rollerblades were heavy too.
Yeah.
I think we were just trying to be silly. Like what would look, Ryan's gonna drag me on the bicycle. Okay, now I'm gonna ride down the ramp. Okay, now I'm gonna go up on the bridge and play guitar up there. Here, let's film me. Someone hand me the guitar. I think we're just trying to throw it all out there in that video.
Yeah, rollerblading and playing guitar was pretty impressive.
I was impressed. I was
Yeah.
tired watching that.
I have a background in ice hockey, and
That's right.
I played roller hockey for that, so I know how to rollerblade. Not like a great rollerblader, but I can do it.
Yeah.
So I think just those skills, I guess, converged at that time.
You
nicely.
moved like a hockey player. I was going to ask you that. I figured you had some hockey in your background.
Yeah. Always a goalie, so I've never been like a skater, but you have to know how to skate anyway. So,
Right.
But yeah, definitely for like 15 years I played ice hockey pretty competitively. So yeah.
I want to ask you, in one of your interviews, you mentioned somebody asked you like bands you would like to go on tour with, and there were some obvious choices. And then you mentioned Sturgill Simpson. I am a huge Sturgill Simpson fan. I drove from Virginia to Austin just to see him at Austin City Limits last year.
Oh, sick. How was that?
It was awesome. It was fantastic. I mean, all 3 days of that festival were crazy good. But he was the reason I was there, and he was also like the last band. He was the closer on Sunday night. So
that's awesome.
And
when was that? Out of curiosity, was that recently or was that a few years back?
October last year, just almost a year ago now.
Very cool. Yeah, no, Sturgill was he's awesome, dude. Like, yeah, we'd absolutely love. I mean, obviously he's a little more like kind of country, but the thing that we really dug about him, like when we were living together, we were listening to his records, and like his Sailor's Guide to Earth album, kind of it like blew our minds because it's still. Like, yeah, it's a country album, but it's super like prog, like it's really weird, and it does a lot of cool like transitions between the songs and like
really cool production.
Just the way it flows, and like he's got the Nirvana cover in it, and like we were just like blown away. We're like, oh my god,
there's a horn section.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, we were just like this dude on like another level. Like we weren't familiar with him.
And then when he made Sound and Fury, that was like a whole different type of like country album, and we're like, what the hell is this? And then we realized, like, oh, Sturgill can do whatever he wants. And so, I don't know, just like a lot of respect for him. He's awesome.
I mean, if we ever got the opportunity to play with him, that'd be obviously a dream come true.
Yeah,5really, any band or artist that's just kind of fearless is a huge inspiration to us because we sort of feel that way too. And sometimes you feel like you're kind of like against the world. It's just like, you're out there on your own and like you're sometimes maybe you'll second guess like, oh, no, should we be doing this? But at the end of the day, it's like, no, dude, like, this is what we're doing, and people can either get on board with it or they won't, and it is what it is. But at the very end of the day, it's like at least we're being honest with ourselves and we're making something that we're proud of, and it's like, it's your life's work, so you might as well do it to the best of your ability, right?
Right.
It makes me so happy to know that you feel about Sturgill the way I feel about Sturgill, because
Oh yeah, no, yeah,
Taylor's Guide to Earth, he alienated a lot of his very country fans who thought
yeah,
he
yeah.
was a country guy, and they realized,
Right.
hold on, maybe there's something else about this guy, and I don't know if I like it.
Yeah.
That kind of a
And
reaction.
that's the way they do too. I mean, it's if you get out of that Nashville thing, which he's already out of,
Right.
but he's kind of on. For a minute he toyed with the fringe of
Yeah.
it, and but you move away from that one iota, and they're done with you. And
Yeah, no, I think it's really hard, especially like when you're at that level, to be able to sort of pivot away from like your fan base, like the original fans that had sort of gotten you to that point, to be able to be like, you know what, like I'm not feeling it. I'm going to go this way. Like you guys can come with me or not. Like that's not easy to do. Like props to them. Like if you're nobody band, if you're a band you've never heard of,
Hey,
then maybe it's not that big of a deal. But like, yeah, for someone at his level to be like, try this, and they're like not digging it, and he's just like, too bad. Like I'm gonna just do it anyway. It's like that takes some balls, man. Like it's respectable for sure.
I mean, great art, I feel like, is about taking risks. Like
Oh yeah,
the ones that you really remember, the ones that connect with you, the ones that there's something unique about them. There's something honest, and no one else could be that. No one else could be Sturgill Simpson. No one else could write "Sailor's Guide to the Earth." That's one of the most unique albums. It does still feel country to me, but it's country in a way that I don't think anyone's ever done, and that's why it really appealed to me. I'm sure you guys all feel the same.
oh yeah,
You got to be able. You can't sound like everyone else. You can't do that. Whatever you do, no matter whenever what success comes or what people tell you, you have to do what you want to do the way you want to do it.
yep.
You know.
I feel that with you guys. I hear influences, right? Like when I hear you harmonize, I think, wow, there's some Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young in there. Gary mentioned Queen. Those
Yep.
are high bar compliments for
Yeah.
harmonies, and
Yeah, thank
you
you.
guys are there. But you don't sound like Queen. You don't sound like CSNY.
Right.
You have your own sound, and it really works for me, and I will not be at all surprised when you get a call to put one of these songs in a movie, when you do make it on a playlist and the algorithm does finally notice you. I won't be surprised at all when you guys become a big household name, and I'm wondering, at this point, does that excite you, or do you not want that? Like, do you prefer the more quiet life where you also get to go rock sometimes, or do you want it to become a big thing?
I don't know. I mean,
There was a time when we really
Yeah.
did want to be a big thing.
yeah,
And I think we would still be open to opportunities. And I think with this next release, we are going to try and make it as good as it can be and as successful as it can be within our resources, within our means. That being said, though, as we kind of said, we are, we're married, kind of starting families a little bit. I don't know if the future is us going on like a world tour or anything like that. Maybe. I mean, I think we're all open to like a conversation about that. I guess whatever happens can happen, and we'll be open to those opportunities. But music is what we've been kind of focusing on lately, and kind of wherever that takes us, I guess we'll see. I don't know if you guys have any input on that.
no, yeah. I think that's kind of where I'm at. Is like, like X said, like we were for the past probably 5 years or so, 6 years, however. I mean, really since Johnny joined the band. I mean, like we were undoubtedly, and we did know, by the way, like when we started the band. Pretty early on, we told each other, like, look, the odds of success are against us. Like, we're not going to be a big famous rock band. It's just statistically unlikely to happen. So, like, let's try our best. Let's have fun and make the best music that we can. But like, and we've said this before in other interviews and stuff like that too. But like the fact that we're just like a band with your friends and you get to just make music that you want to make, like that is already a bar that we've reached that not a lot of bands can reach. They're like, there's been bands that we've played with and started with that have already come and gone, and we've outlived them, and we're still a band. And like, that's, I think, something to be said. Like, not a lot of bands make it 10 years, So
Yeah.
I think,
Well, also,
yeah,
good point, Course. And I'm gonna refute one thing you said. Is early on we did think we were gonna make it. Like we were pretty confident. I don't know if you remember that, but for a while, like especially in 2019, like we were on the up and up. And
I guess that, yeah, there were a couple moments we had, that we were like, oh shit, this could like kind of be our break. But I would, all I was saying was even before that, like we kind of were aware that like
Yes.
Let's do
Yeah.
this, knowing that it might not happen. But you're right. There were a couple encounters that were like, damn, this could be
Yeah.
heartbreaking.
We once had an encounter. I won't go through the whole story, but we had an encounter with a very big CEO of a very big record label, and
Yeah.
he liked Strange Weather, and he offered to buy it from us.
Yeah.
And
By the
we didn't.
song.
Yeah, we
By
never
the song.
found the song. Yeah, not the EP. And he offered to buy it. We never actually found out the price because he was sort of trying to like rearrange the band. He sort of said like we went and played a show for him in Tahoe. He wanted like Axe to be only the guitar player and only the singer, and he wanted Corey to be only on bass, and he wanted me to only be on keys and not sing. And like he was trying to restructure the band. And he's like, and if you guys do that, you know, we can come get you down, you know, to the studio and work with some writers and whatever. And we were just sort of like, thanks, but no thanks, dude. Like we kind of like what we're doing. And so we did turn down a potential big opportunity because we felt like it wasn't who we were. And we kind of kept hoping for those opportunities. And then, you know, one like that never quite came up again. But then we sort of started to feel content with, you know, the music is the most important thing. And to us, at least, and as long as we're writing good songs that we like and we care about, then those will hopefully have more longevity than, you know, any brief flash in the pan of fame that we might get.
Yeah, and we got some legitimate like fans, you know, from that philosophy of just like it's got to be the music, man. Like, you know, take it or leave it. And also to add one thing to what Ryan was saying about that story was even though we turned down that offer, we actually did learn a lot from him because he did like us. Like he I think he even called us like a diamond in the rough or something like that. Like
Nice.
he dug us,
Yeah,
which is
that would have been a good name for this podcast.
yeah. There you go. Yeah, it's our podcast idea now. We're stealing it. No,
Yeah.
no, but yeah. So he did dig us, and some of the criticisms he had of us that we knew weren't going to work, we kind of tossed those aside. We're like, all right, well, obviously that's not going to work, so we'll just sort of set that aside. But he had some constructive criticisms of us, specifically pertaining to like what we were talking about earlier. To answer Gary's question, the structure of our band, like during a live set of the transitions between the songs, like that was one of his big notes. And so from that, we realized, okay, if he caught that, that means other people are catching it too. We should work on that. Mm-hmm. And so we did. And so like we went to the band room and really rehearsed. Like I think there was a show we had coming up after that, maybe the Boardwalk or something. And we're like, well, let's try and create some seamless transitions in the live set, almost like to where the show never really stops. There's no breaks where we're just like, all right, guys, like, how you doing? You know, like, what if the show just doesn't really stop? We just keep it kind of going, like it ebbs and flows, but it never really stops. And so we tried that, and it was like, I mean, like people came up to us after that show and were like blown away. It was almost like we had almost like unlocked a level up or something, you know. It was kind of like so if we hadn't had that meeting and his criticisms, we never would have been able to sort of reevaluate like our live set, and then we really tightened those screws and kicked it into high gear, and it was like a way better experience for us and for the audience.
I'll bet you would have figured it out, but he was certainly the impetus for figuring it out a little sooner than you might have.
Probably, yeah,
right?
For sure.
You're smart guys. You clearly know what you're doing and how you work together, and you would have picked up on the fact that hold on, we need to get right into this next song or play something in between.
And I definitely agree with y'all that he was going to be toxic to you guys. Anybody that the first thing that they want to do is completely change everything.
Yeah, right.
You know, he liked the way you looked.
Yeah, it might have given us some success, but we wouldn't have been probably happy. You know,
we wouldn't have written a lot of songs. We probably wouldn't have written 1,000 Days.
Yeah.
That came a lot out.
Right.
Yeah. Well, and it was weird too because he said he loved Strange Weather, but Strange Weather is like such a non-traditional song. It's like 6 minutes and goes through all these tempo changes and
that was kind of weird.
And he was also telling us like you guys need to write like, you know, kind of like hit songs, like 3-minute songs, and we're like, but you like Strange Weather, like what?
Yeah, like, this is a song that's like our least of that.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Once a Dark and Lonely Night, your 18-minute song. How does that fit into this equation when you play live?
Well, dude, that was another thing is when he initially called me at work when I like the night before or something, a couple nights before we actually drove up and met him. I was literally at work bartending, and I get a text that's like, "Hey, this is so and so, CEO of so and so. Are you down to talk?" And I was like, "Okay." So I take his call, and I was trying to ask him. He's like, "Yeah, I like Strange Weather. Like, who sings that?" And I was like, "Axe." He's like, "Yeah, who plays guitar on that?" And I was like, "Axe." He's like, "Who wrote that?" I'm like, "Axe." And I was like, "Yeah, do you like any other songs? Like, what do you think about like Once a Dark and Lonely Night?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, you're a 10-minute one. Yeah, it's fine." And just kind of blew it off. And we're like, I was like, "No, like, first of all, it's 18 minutes. All right, don't understand it. Like, we worked
It's
on
an
that.
opus.
Yeah. So,
I mean, I'm sure those long songs aren't for everyone.
No.
However, if you do have the patience for it, it's something that we wanted to write for people that really did want to sit and enjoy kind of a long, epic song. As a band, one of the ways that we helped inspire ourselves is we would listen to full length classic albums. Just we would all sit in the same room. We turn off all the lights and we just play the album from start to finish. And we listened to some amazing albums that way. And we really liked the idea of just listening to a piece of music from start to finish.
yeah.
We had all these ideas that were kind of in the same key, in the same theme lyrically and feeling wise for this song. We just some reason we wanted just to write a really, really, really long song and end an album with it.
Yeah.
And that's basically what we did. Is we there were some tempo changes. We figured out how to make these transitions, but for some reason we just decided that's what we wanted to do, and we kind of set out and did it. It was a challenge for sure, not just like songwriting, but even logistically, like recording it and like figuring out how we're actually going to physically accomplish this and get the track complete. And then you talk about uploading it to the internet and stuff like that. You have to think about that as well. So it's something that I'm glad we did. I don't think we need to do anything like that again. Although we do have other long songs and even still long songs that we are going to write and release, but nothing quite that ambitious. But it's something that we had to do creatively. We just felt like we had to do it, and so we did it.
Yeah. And also, go for it, Raj. Sorry.
I was just going to say we took a lot of inspiration from Echoes, right, off of Pink Floyd's Metal, and and obviously like that's a 20-minute song just about, and so we're like, let's make our own Echoes, you know what I mean? Because we love that song and just the cool storytelling of the whole album, and Pink Floyd's obviously a big inspiration to us, and so we wanted to do just kind of a long song like that too.
Yeah, and I was going to say, I think one of the key benefits of doing that so early, because that was on our first LP, Porcelain Martyr, the benefit of doing that was it basically allowed us right out the gate to go in any direction musically that we wanted to. Like, I was kind of concerned when we were recording that we were going to pigeonhole ourselves into like, because even at that stage, we didn't quite know what style of band we were. Are we a punk band, a rock band, a blues band? Like, we had some of those elements for sure, but we weren't like very distinctive in any of those elements, or genres. And so we were like, well, if we just create like an album that's got like, like a 50-second song and an 18-minute long song on it, that pretty much sets the stage from here on out that we can do whatever we want and people won't be surprised by it. And so it sort of freed us up musically by doing that. Because like if we had just come out pretty traditional and then made a pivot to doing that, people might have been like, oh, that's kind of weird.
I like those 3-minute songs.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. But the fact that we kind of just came out swinging like that, everyone's just like, oh, this is just who this band is. Oh, yeah, that's old Bad Mother Nature. They're making a 10-minute song again. Yeah, that's what they do. And it really just freed us up to kind of, do whatever we want. So we can make A Time to Run. We can make a Mad Oklahoma. We could make 1,000 Days or any of these songs that don't sound like each other, but you could tell they're still us. They still have our footprint and signature all over them. So I think that was kind of a benefit of having Once a Dark and Lonely Night so early in our catalog.
And I'm sorry, I want to get back to your question because I think your question was how do we incorporate it live? Is that right?
I was curious. Do you play it live? Do you change it?
Live.
I'm very happy for all the extra context. That's amazing.
Sorry.
But yeah, how does it work live?
Yeah, we've played it quite a few times live. When we were first working out the song, we used to play these like Wednesday night free shows at this place called Holy Diver in Sacramento, which unfortunately no longer is there, but it was an awesome venue. And it almost felt like a comedian who goes and like does open mic nights or something, like just to work out material. We would sometimes book shows there and just try out like new songs because it was low pressure and like, see how the crowd reacts. And one time we played that song and we probably played like a 15-minute version of it. I think live, it generally just goes a little faster anyway. And I remember like a couple people came up afterwards and were like, that was one song? Like that was insane. Yep. And then we were getting like legit comments about it. And so we're like, all right. And since then we've played it quite a bit. Like we toured up through Seattle and we played it up there. And yeah, I mean, I don't know, we've probably played it at least a dozen times live, and it
Oh, yeah.
generally works out pretty well into our shows. Although it's got to be like the right show for it, because it would take
Yeah.
up a whole 20-minute
Yeah.
section.
Yeah, if you got a 30-minute set, that's going to, kind of
Right.
limit.
Yeah, that's the whole set right there.
How do you guys have physical media? Have you had that in the past? Is that part of the plan for the new album? Right. I didn't see any in the merch section on your website.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They don't sell to Virginia anyway, so
Right.
We do. We can ship, and I almost,
Yeah.
if I had a little more time, I would have tried to ship out a shirt to you.
Yeah, you guys will get a shirt, no doubt.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
We'll mail you the shirts, and then we'll figure out why that
Yeah.
was.
I don't know.
I tried my home address, my work address to see what it was. I live out in the country. I work in the city. Does it make a difference? No, that did not matter. So I was bummed by
Yeah,
that.
I apologize, brother. I'm not sure why that was the case.
For our first two releases, we had physical CDs, and actually, I was going through a box in my attic, or I guess my garage rafters, and I found a few. We have a few left. We had, like, I don't know, 100 made or whatever. We learned after the first or the second release, that it wasn't quite worth it. Not enough people were buying them. Most people are streaming music nowadays. I don't know if we're gonna have a plan to have like physical CDs. It'd be really cool to have like a vinyl release, but you have to kind of buy them in some kind of bulk price.
Yeah.
So you can get them 100 at a time now.
Okay.
Can you?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, if y'all want, after we get off, I can fill you in.
Please, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Because that'd be something really cool. Obviously, we're old school traditional guys. We like we all have like our own little record collections, so that's something we definitely be interested in. As far as CDs, I just don't know if enough people listen to them anymore.
I will say
Supposedly they're coming back.
that's what I was just gonna say.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of big acts selling CDs on their merch, like on their website and
They're
stuff.
coming back because people are getting tired of the algorithms, man.
Yeah, I think people are getting tired of streaming. I do get a sense
The
of that.
algorithms have gotten, and JR and I have this discussion. What, 3 times a week, 2 times a week?
Every time we do this show.
Definitely, yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, because he is a big streamer, and I do not. I do physical media, and or radio. I like
Yeah.
terrestrial radio.
Yeah, no doubt.
And but I keep reading these because I get every music thing that's known to mankind, and there's all this. There's a big an underwave right now of CDs coming back. For a minute there, it looked like cassettes were going to do. And we're like, no one wants a
Yeah.
cassette. We hated
I know.
cassettes back when they were never good.
Yeah.
But actually, when they were popular, it was like everyone hated them because they were such a mess. But yeah, CDs supposedly are coming back, and they're about as inexpensive as you can put media out.
Okay.
Let's look into that.
I was gonna say I'm not opposed to it because the problem with streaming is like the subscription service, right? So it's like on Spotify we get like 0.0001 cent of a penny or some ridiculous. So I think if we had like a physical CD, you can sell it for $5. You have $5.
Right.
That's just cash in hand. They have the CD. They own that music now. We got their money. Everyone's happy.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's very possible that the tide's just turning on that.
Well, there's at least on the East Coast, there's one tide turning because it became all free shows for a long time. And there's a tide coming to get people to start paying for their shows again on the local level.
Yeah,
they're paying hundreds and hundreds of dollars for national shows, and and even bigger shows are paying, even bigger acts, smaller clubs, they're paying $50-$60.
Yep.
But then they don't pay for anything local because everyone's working off of crumbs.
Right.
And so there is actually a movement here on the East Coast to get to bring back at least the cover charge, if not tickets, for local. So I think the whole movement is, hey, buy it and own it, folks. Music means something. It's not just not something that happens and you wander into it.
I think the
Right.
revitalization of vinyl is not just about the vinyl. It's about owning something tangible.
Right.
Right. Totally.
I think I own a lot of vinyl. I almost never play a record. I have a
Right.
record player. I sell record players.
Right.
That's my job, one of my
Yeah.
jobs. And I never play it. Everything is on Spotify for me because it's so convenient.
Right.
And so I pay for Spotify, but I
Mhm.
also pay for vinyl. I just bought 2 CDs from a busker in Scotland a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I don't even have a CD player currently.
Right.
And I bought 2 CDs. And I think that is, people want to support the bands, I think.
Yeah.
It wasn't just me trying to get you on this show that was going to buy the t-shirt. I really want
Right.
your t-shirt. I want to represent you. I've bought shirts from several bands that have done this show because I'm really happy to support them. So yeah,
Right.
I can't wait to get my t-shirt.
Yeah.
We will get you a shirt.
You will get a shirt, my friend. No worries. Yeah. Again, I
Sweet.
apologize about the.
And if you want to include any physical media with that, also
Oh, yeah.
include your Venmo, and I'll make sure that it was worth your while to ship them to us, because that would be fantastic.
Thank you, man. Yeah,
we
we'll
can do that.
Yeah, we should throw some CDs in there for
Yeah,
them too.
might as well.
I think if we have a
Well,
couple
then we have probably a bunch of stickers left over too. So
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Stickers. I'm
Yeah.
the sticker guy. I love the sticker.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I think if physical media's coming back, because JR, I'm the same way, man. Like I do listen to Spotify obviously because it's convenient and it has like every album out there, so you can just I just listen. Me and Ax, we this year just been listening to albums.
Everything except for Neil Young, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Oh,
any
and Garth
artist that
Brooks.
hasn't pulled their music from Spotify. But yeah, like we also, like Ax said, have vinyl collections, and I still have like a whole caseload of CDs that I bought, like a decade ago.
Yep.
And so if physical media is coming back, I think that's good, because if you don't pay your Spotify subscription anymore, you lost all your music.
Gone.
It's just gone, and it's like, well, that's kind of lame. So yeah, at least if you own like a CD or two by like an artist you like, then okay, well, if you're not paying for Spotify anymore, or if the company goes bankrupt or whatever happens,
That's because you never had the music.
right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. No, you're right. Yeah.
I think
you
we could
visited the music every so often. That was the difference.
we could continue this conversation for a long time. I want to respect your time. I am so thankful you guys took any time out of your day to meet with us.
Oh,
I couldn't be more excited that there's new bad Mother Nature music on the horizon. I would love to hear back from you when that comes out. Maybe we could talk about it on the show.
Sure.
I also like to typically end these interviews by letting our bands know that we hope to help you in any way that our tiny little podcast can. We're still very new. We don't have thousands of listeners yet, but we keep hearing from bands like you that this is a cool thing, and these bands, if they tell each other about it and tell their fans about it. Room for Zero was our first band on this show, and kind of like you, they had gone radio silent for a while, and they had an album coming out soon, and they chose on our show to reveal some things and to sort of get back out into the social media world, and we couldn't have been happier with that. So anything we can do to get the word out about Mad Mother Nature, we will do.
Yeah.
If you are so inclined to put stuff on social media again, we would love it if you mention this show, because we think this rising tide will float all the boats eventually. And so, we're
really building up steam in right now. So
we have bands contacting us just recently for the first time. So
yeah,
that's awesome.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
No, congrats, man. No, that's exciting. Yeah, no, absolutely. We'll shout you out. And yeah, thank you guys again for, I could talk to you guys for like another 2 hours probably. But yeah, thanks for inviting us on. This has been really nice.
Mm-hmm.
It really has been. Thank you so much. I'm going to let you go now. And I hope it's not the last time we communicate. I look forward to, I'll send you my address. And
I'll get your email from JR, and I'll send you the information on the CDs and
the vinyls.
The vinyl.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Yeah. We'd love to come back on. This has been awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, and when we release the EP, or like when it's kind of like done and recorded and we're getting ready to kind of like push it out there, we'll if it's cool with you guys, like we'll reach back out to you, and then maybe we can hop on another call with you guys.
That'd be awesome.
A world premiere debut of a new song, right? That would be amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
We can do that 100%.
No, that'd be sick, man. Yeah, that'd be really fun. Cool.
I am so stoked. Thank you so much to Bad Mother Nature. I wish we had Johnny, but you guys have been amazing. So thank you so much.
Thank you, my man.
you.
You guys have been great. Thank you so much.
This episode of Bands You've Never Heard Of is a production of Ranch Hand Records. That's www.ranchhandrecords.com.
Bine Ho, Bands You've Never Heard Of, is hosted by Gary Hawthorne and me, J.R. Stoffel.
Bino is written by JR and reacted to in real time and real truthfulness by me, Gary.
All songs on this show were used by permission. We asked Bad Mother Nature if we could play their songs, and they said yes.
Check them out at badmothernature.com. The links are in the show notes.
Also, you'll find their music included on the Bands You've Never Heard Of complete playlist. Every song from every band we've ever featured on this show is there. Long playlist, getting longer by the week, and it's all great stuff. So check out the playlist. It's on Spotify.
And if you're currently just listening to us on one of the audio-only podcast channels, you might want to try us out on youtube.com at BineHoPod, because that is where you get the full immersive 3D experience.
If you want to get in touch with us about literally anything, email us your thoughts on anything, but especially if you have thoughts on these bands that we have been featuring, or if you have a band you want us to feature, or anything in anywhere, anything related to that whatsoever, send us an email. BineHoPod, BYNHOPOD @gmail.com.
And if you want to go one step further and check out everybody that we've done before, all the other intricate notes and everything else, and the podcast playlist, and the merch.
That's right. Shirts and hats and stuff.
Come and see us at BineHoPod.com. That's BYNHOPEOD.com. Let me do that again. www.BineHoPod.com. That's BYNHOPOD.com. And sign up.
Thank you so much for listening all the way to the end. You are my favorite listener. Out of all the listeners to this show out there, you are my favorite one.
And my favorite one, too, because you have gone beyond, above and beyond what we can ask for our listeners. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.
Peace out, everybody.